We got some breaking news, folks, some big-time news, and the cuts have begun because Justin Coleman has been cut by the Detroit Lions. Let's begin. What is going on, YouTube, and welcome to Detroit Lions Talk with MicroMike. We talk all things Detroit Lions news, rumors, analysis, breakdown, and everything regarding our franchise. In this video, we're talking about the cut, the breaking news. The Lions cut Justin Coleman. The Detroit Lions have cut Justin Coleman, and there's many reasons why for this. First off, we are in a transition here, and the Detroit Lions talked about this. Head coach Dan Campbell said, we need cornerback depth. He specifically asked about Justin Coleman, and he said you'd find out soon. So guess what? We just found out as the Lions cut Justin Coleman. What does this mean for the cap ramifications? What does this mean for the roster? Well, let's first start with the cap. When it comes to Justin Coleman, his cap was $11.029 million, a dead cap hit of $6 million, and saving the Detroit Lions nearly $5 million. Look, this is important for the Detroit Lions trying to save some money over the cap issues, and we're going to have to cut players, right, to get under that cap. Justin Coleman was one of those players. A lot of people may be scratching their head. Justin Coleman, there's a lot of people that should be cut. Well, they will be. I'm guaranteed. Seems to be. We're having a transition here. But Justin Coleman, productivity on the field was not that great. When you look at his stats here, solo, 22 tackles, 0 forced fumbles, 0 interceptions, 1 pass defense. Yes, the stats is skewed because guess what? He was injured a lot, but you have to be on the field to play. The best ability is availability, and Justin Coleman was not there last year. Comment in reply to the pinned comment. That is the very first comment that I pinned. And let me know, was this a good cut? All you got to do is put Y for yes, N for no. Let me know. I want to hear what the fan base thinks. It's important for the Detroit Lions to have all players on the field, and having individuals that cost a lot that's not playing hurts the team financially, it hurts the roster, and most importantly, productivity on the field. Having players go in and out, it really hurts the continuity that you have. And in this secondary, we're having a lot of young players here. We're talking about Bonnie Warrior. We're talking about Jeff Okudah. You even got a young Tracy Walker in the safety position. Will Harris, who's I don't really like that much, by the way. But when you have players go in and out who's not on the field, it's going to hurt their productivity. It's going to hurt the defense. And this defense is bad. We're talking about getting other players. Look, Darryl Roberts came in for his position and did a much better job, and he was much cheaper. Look for that going forward. But the Detroit Lions are in a transition right now. Quinn Trisha, Bob Quinn, Matt Patricia hurt this team on all levels. Getting players that tried to be on the team and do good. Look, Justin Coleman was a touted free agent. A lot of people, myself, liked Justin Coleman. With that said, I did not like the injuries. I did not like the lack of production. And when it comes to financially being over the cap, you have to make cuts. And with a rebuild/transition that's taking place right now, it makes sense that the Lions are cutting him. We can get better in free agency, and most importantly, we can get better in the draft. And that's why you heard Dan Campbell talk about we need more depth. We need help in the cornerback position because he knew these cuts were coming. He knew Justin Coleman was going to get cut, and it was just a matter of time, not if. And the Lions need restructure in their secondary. A lot of things took place that hurt this football team regarding players on the field that were not on the field. Justin Coleman was one. Clearly, he was not the worst player on the team, no doubt about it. But again, when you're in transition, like we are, you need to be able to be on the field. You need to be able to produce on the field. And you need to be able to get positive results. And this defense was a lot of negative, no doubt about it. With our new head coach and Dan Campbell getting Aaron Glenn as defensive coordinator, he comes from the defensive backfield. He'll be able to mold players to his will. Now, again, we got young players right now, but they could pick more players up in the NFL draft and mold to his ways. And if they wanted to go cheap route, Darryl Roberts, again, was a much better player in his position than Coleman was. So that, in my opinion, I understand what they're doing here. I support the move. When it comes to building a football team, when it comes to building from the ground up, you don't start with veterans that have baggage regarding not being on the field and big cap hits. What do? You get younger, you draft players, and you build through the draft, and you build the team the way you want it to be struck with healthy players. Justin Coleman was not that. This was a move we all expected. I definitely expected. I talked about it way earlier, and I expect a lot more moves to occur, folks. No doubt about it. And I'm not just talking about, players here and there. Jesse James, no doubt about it. Danny Shelton, Williams, many players out there that the Detroit Lions have on the roster that is a net negative financially and didn't perform well for the Lions last year. And the era of Campbell and Holmes want to get their own guys. They're going to build through the free agency and most definitely, most importantly, through the NFL draft. What now? Let me know in the comment section. What would you do now that we are cutting Justin Coleman? Do you want to see an individual get drafted? Do you want to see the guys that we currently have get put in better positions? Hey, let me know. We all have different opinions, and I want to know what you guys think about this. We got to be patient with this defense. There's going to be many cuts. There's going to be a lot of turnover because this defense was extremely bad. I repeat, this defense was really bad, historically bad. And it's going to take a little bit to turn this ship around. Hats off to Aaron Glenn. Hats off to Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes because they're going to have to turn over this roster. A lot of people are going to have to go. What was done to this defense should be against the law. It was so bad. I mean, we're talking about the defensive line, inept. The linebacking core, the worst. The secondary, pieces that need to get removed. Injuries, all sorts of bad things that needs to get done. So this is just the beginning. This is the first cut of many cuts. There's going to be a whirlwind that's going to take place. A lot of turnover on this defense. When it comes to the secondary, I think it will get better slowly but surely. We got along young pieces right now. Mani Warrior, we got Akuda. Maybe they can bring back Darryl Roberts, who's not that bad. He actually did fairly decent last year. That could help out from a cornerback perspective. It'd be a cheap free agent, and he did fairly okay. We got Tracy Walker, the safety, and we got Will Harris, who I think is not that good at all. We're going to see. They're probably going to get a safety in free agency, maybe get one in the draft, but it's going to take a little bit of time, so we got to be patient. I got to keep telling my audience this and stress. If the defense does not come out looking great this coming year, please do not point all the fingers at Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes, and Aaron Glenn. This was a travesty that was done to this defense. A travesty. They have to remove players, multiple positions, and they got to turn over this roster, and they got to get younger, and they got to get people for the new system. That is a lot to do, and for this to occur in 1 year seems extremely difficult. Now, I think the defense will get better, in all honesty, just because Patricia is gone, and I think that alone is going to make the defense better. But make no mistake about it. There are players that must get removed. There's going to have to be turnaround. And for this defense to claw itself back to relevance is going to take a little bit of time. Not only that, you're going to have new players with a new scheme. So these players are going to have to learn the new scheme. There is multiple factors that comes in for this defense to get better. We got to get new players. We got to get the scheme. We got to get the fit. We got to get the everything. So it's going to take a little bit of time, but I'm very optimistic for the future of this team 2 years from now, 3 years from now, because it starts here. It starts now with the cutting the fat and getting rid of players that are not going to work out for the future of this football team. Hats off to everyone that's going out there. Hats off to the fan base for, if you understand this, you get it. But if you don't understand it, Just look at it from a long view. Hit that like button, folks. You're going to want to hit that like button. Why? Well, I'm going against legacy media. They're big. I am just one guy. I'm trying to build OnePride to bigger. I want a bigger platform so the individuals out there that don't get their Lions news, all they got to hear is the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys. You get your OnePride Detroit Lions news. Hit that like button. The video then can go out there and it can be reached, and that's always a good thing. Just look at it from a long view and understand it's going to take some time. So much fat to cut, so much more moves to be made to get this defense back to respectability since, what, a long time? It's going to take a long time. I mean, this team has had a defense since 2014, and then before that, it was forever. In the upcoming videos, we got the OnePride podcast on Thursday, 6:30 p.m. EST. Make sure you're there. It's absolutely fun time. We do the mailbag segment where we go for you guys to give us questions, and we answer them live. We have a fun time, so make sure you're there to enjoy the fun. Also, I got videos coming all the time. You want to make sure that you hit that notification bell so you don't miss out, and subscribe. A lot of the people who watch my content are not subscribers. Hey, how are you going to get the content if you don't and understand and see the videos coming in at one time? Also, we got the Spiked Kool-Aid hosted by the Gridiron Blitz at 7 p.m. EST on Tuesdays. A fun show. Hey, it's interactive. You can call in if you want to hear us speak, you want to get answers spoken to on the phone. Make sure you call in and enjoy. And on Wednesday, we got Necessary Roughness hosted by Troxel Sports Talk. A great time. It's a comedy show. We have fun. We shoot the S, and it's all about having a good time and talking sport.